Hello, I'm Corey, and today is day 18 of the 100-Day Project, and my version, which is 6 by 6 and 6. And my concept is taking 6 by 6 paper from paper pads and doing a variety of different projects and showing you different ways that you can use your 6 by 6 paper. Today's is another gift card holder and card all in one. It'll be the second one like that. It's different than the first one, and this one's probably a little bit easier, but it's still a pretty basic concept. Especially now, I like to send people treats and little notes letting them know I'm thinking about them. And this particular project allows you to do both in once. There's a place for a note, and there is a place for a gift card, whatever it might be, in a little bit of a treat. So let me show you what you need to make these, and we will get started. You will need a sheet of 6 by 6 paper. A scoreboard is a nice thing to have, but not necessarily essential. You're going to want a scrap of cardstock if you're going to include your note in there. You're going to need a piece of string to tie the card at the bottom. You can use ribbon, but I found it's a lot easier for people to undo and open with string. So you'll need a piece of string. Ink if you're an inker. Put it over here. A hole punch for the bottom and a corner rounder if you're a corner rounder type person. A pair of scissors, and your glue. That's it. That's all you need. All right, step one with the 6 by 6 paper. Oh, I should have showed you. If you have a piece that's a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller, just change the way you cut. Like I think you can see here, this piece is a little bit smaller. I had a 5.5 inch scrap, so it still works. It still allows you, I don't think you can go much smaller than that and still fit a gift card in, but the 5.5 inch piece worked just fine. See, you can see there, I still have a little bit of room. So step one is, remember, when you fold, you want your pattern side up, whatever your pattern is. I mean, it still works if you have it down, but pattern side up. And a lot of times, because the paper, these are directly from a pad, so I didn't cut them, but sometimes I'll just do my first fold, I'll fold it in half rather than score, but you get to pick. Either way is totally fine. And the stripes happen to be opposite because it's non-directional. It doesn't matter at all. So I'm going to score it at 3 inches, and I'm going to fold it, and I'm not going to sharp it creasely, but I'm going to score it at 3 inches, and then I'm going to turn and flip it over. So I scored it at 3 inches this way. I'm going to flip it over and turn, and I am going to score it at 1 inch and 5 inches, which is 2.6 centimeters and 12.7 centimeters. So 1 inch and 5 inch. Okay, that's all the scoring. Then I am going to decide, you can see here, I have the gift card on top on this one and then the note card on bottom. You're making a little pocket, so it doesn't really matter which way your pocket goes. Do I want my pocket to be on the top on the left or on the right? Oh, you get to pick. It doesn't make any difference either way. You're going to do the same steps. So you're going to cut opposite sections out. So if you want to cut the top left and the bottom right, cut those. If you want to cut the bottom left and the top right, cut those. Either way. And you're going to cut just to the left of the score line. So just to the left of the score line. And again, this side, the bottom piece, you're going to cut just to the right of the score line. Because when you fold this up, you don't want those score lines to show. So just to the left at the top of the score line and just the bottom. And I'll put those aside to use as scrap things later. So this one I chose to cut the bottom left, so now I'm going to cut the top right. And again, just to the outside of the score line. And let's see if I can show you there, just to the outside of the score line. Now, because the camera's here, it makes it kind of tough to see exactly where those score lines are. But I'm going to now fold this in, fold this in. I haven't creased it yet. Oh, darn, you can see it's just a little bit off, and it's just a little bit off here. That's okay. Don't cut where you've got your fold lines, because you'll cut or trim off your folded piece. But if it's a little bit long here, it doesn't match up perfectly, just come in with your trimmer and take a bit down. And it's one of the reasons I like ink, because ink hides some of that little bit. Yeah, this one's not so bad. Ink hides a little bit of that, that gap that'll show. All right, if you're going to use a corner roundry, this is where you're going to use it. And this is going to be your top and bottom of the card, like so. So you want to, on the non-fold line, you want to chomp your corners. Okay. And then if you are going to ink, this is a good time to ink. Now here I've got the pink on the outside, but if I wanted to, I could put the pink on the inside. You don't have to use double-sided cardstock for this one, but it's a little bit easier, I think. So it'll work either way. I think for this one I am going to do, I'm going to do the pink on the inside. All right. So now I'm going to ink my edges. I'm just going to do a light ink. So I'm going to ink my edges before I fold it down and glue it. Okay, I'm going to ink. And now I'm going to use my glue on just, so remember this, sorry about that, big old glue bottle in your way. This is the little pockets or tucks that you're making. So I'm going to want to glue just on the top and bottom edge of each. And it, can you see? Yeah. It doesn't require much glue at all. And this is where I would normally use, well, I'm going to because I want to. This is where I use my acrylic blocks to hold it while I'm gluing one or the other. Okay, well, I obviously didn't put enough glue on that. So maybe more than I just did. And this is a little bit heavier, so it takes a little bit more to hold it in place. Or it takes a little bit more to hold the pocket down. And so I'm just going to let that dry for a moment. And that is all my gluing. And I said in previous videos that I'm not going to focus on the decorating so much. So you can use stamps, stickers, die cuts, stencils, anything you want to decorate the fronts of these. So, okay, here we go. Again, I didn't use enough and I should probably push a little bit more. All right, 2 pockets, 2 little tuck spots. See here, tuck spot for one for the note card, and then tuck spot for the other, the gift envelope. Okay, well that didn't adhere. Push down a little bit harder. Okay, last step, or the next step, is to punch a hole in the bottom. This, I used a regular hole, just a regular old hole punch. This particular one, I used the slotted hole punch. I thought I'd put ribbon in there, but I put ribbon on the front, so I thought, oh, 2 ribbons. And then I realized, too, it makes it really bulky, the card bulky, if I'm going to mail it, to put a ribbon down here because the ribbon tie is thick. So string seems to work a little bit better. But it's very flat, which is really nice. You certainly can send this as a card, but you could also put it inside your junk journal as a double tuck spot. You could put it in your planner to hold your business cards or whatever. You could also use it in your scrapbook album if you were wanting to save some memorabilia. So you can use it a couple different ways. And that is all there is to it. My one more tip is if you are using a single-sided paper and you don't want the inside to be white, this is before you glue everything. This is a great time to use some of your stencils and inks. And, you know, you can turn your white paper into a pattern of some sort. That's all I have. That's a simple project, and hopefully it will inspire you to make something today with your 6x6 paper. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.